Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installment in the Quickview series. And today, we've got chewing gum. We've got some chewing gum for you. Chewing gum to the point where I left it in the cutoff package. Extreme Route, huge pin, 22 gold, Dawn Wall, made by Extreme Route, HP, the huge pin. Okay, just climb aboard with me. You think you're ready, but it's like for roll-up. And you know how there's the thing that we will often do with RC 4-wheel drive X2 SS. You do the crumple. I mean, it's just Dawn Wall. This 22 gold might be the stickiest compound I've ever encountered, and this tire is huge. What I do is I pre-mount 3, and I would like to show you. So I just, it will almost just, yep, there we go. Glue. It's like they've taken glue, they've extruded it into a tire shape. We can't even, it will just stay like that. It will never pop all the way back. The huge pin, and it is huge. These are large. There's your gold dot. No belting, no ribbing. Thin, like across the carcass. Let's see if we can even get that thing out of there. It's a millimeter. That I got part of a lug. You can see a little better on the side. About a millimeter thick. No belting, no ribbing. Sidewall and carcass, same thickness. A tire of this magnitude, we punch at 3, 12, 3, 6, and 9. Let's make sure we got that. There we go. I mean, it's not hypercritical. For those who might be curious, leather punch at 4 millimeters. That is a 4 millimeter hole. And the thing is, the hole, all the rubber tends to kind of suction back a little bit. I punch 4 millimeter holes in everything. 2 in class 1s and class 2s, 4 in anything bigger. It's like pulling out gum. And they will, let's see if we can do it on the foam. Will it still be there? I don't even know. Yeah, look at that. There it is. It's like little, it's like the stuff you use to hang up posters in your adolescent bedroom. This is as was used in other tires, this is a Dirty Richard. Pitbull Dirty Richard. I needed to find the cheapest single stage that I could because we want to test the tire and not explicitly the insert. Anyone buying any tire of this type or size, Ibex, Goats, Bullies, you're going to be getting, you're obviously going to be out there to obtain a foam that is optimized to your tire and your rig. So I don't think many people are putting these in here. I have softs and mediums. We have mediums for the rear, softs for the fronts. They were very inexpensive. And these are being mounted up on what I estimate and guesstimate to be the easiest to mount wheels that you can buy with your money. These are the Amazon carbon fiber 22s. And I have featured them previously, but I don't know. This might be the first installment where in the actual video I've put them together for you. So with an open cell, it's a little tougher. I run there's a little guide lug right there. I run him on the inside. It just seems logical. I don't know. I push the inner ring all the way to the inside, and then you've assembled the face like thusly. There is no real middle to the wheel. This is the outside, and there's the inside. You bolt them together like that. Just makes a little clampy ring. And because of that, you just line those pins up with those grooves. And we push that down, and look, that's in. So then we push the whole apparatus. We're holding one side down. We push the whole apparatus through the foam so that we get all the foam tucked back behind. And it's not even hypercritical that all the foam is tucked back behind. Get that lip over that edge. As I mentioned, the back is literally just a carbon fiber ring. You set it down, and the only important part here is you want to try to have them lined up with the pins. Because the compound is so gluey, if they're not lined up with the pins, they're not going to go. We put one, and then I like to do a little crisscross action. So I do every other one all the way around. Ordinarily, I don't set the combo down in between, and I think this probably helps me, but they're so gluey that once there's any tension on the ring, it's not coming apart. Just a regular 20 millimeter aluminum SLW for the rears, 20 millimeter aluminum, 20 millimeter brass SLW for the front. Just put a little bit of weight on it. Then we do a go to this one. Then we go across. Then we go back here. Then we go over here. Ordinarily, tires of this level of softness will do their best effort to give you a problem. Not on this style of wheel. We're going to see how these hold up. I have another style. If you saw the Ibex test, I have another style that I use on those. Those are older. Those are too many spokes. Oh, they're right here. They're right here. These are too many spokes. So, like you see, not only abrasions, but if we can get the focus in real time. Yeah. Crackety, 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 crackety. Yeah. Still holding together. I mean, it's carbon fiber, so until it blows apart into pieces, it's still functional. But I'm hoping that 6 spokes will be a little more rough and tough. Let's see. No, wait. Oh, not quite. They will pick up everything. So sticky. They say 2.2, 5.8, 1.7. Well, we know the 2.2 works. We just mounted on a 2.2 wheel, so there's no argument there. 148, which is, yeah, I would call that 5.8 inches. Are we going to hit the 1.7? 46, 46. Yeah, we did. Yeah. As advertised, 5.8 by 1.7. Roughly, I've already forgotten, 140 and change? Yeah, like 147. That's a big tire. When we have a tire that big, there's really only one guy that tests a tire that big. The Wolverine. These should be right at home on the Wolf. No, that still looks big. We've seen 5.25s. We've seen 5.4s. This is a 5.8. I mean, there's always Kryptonite Customs USD stickies. Are stickies bigger than these? I don't know. They might be. Just lug-wise. Obviously, no directionality to this. You just mount them. You put the gold dot on the inside. Or I guess you could flex and put the gold dot on the outside. Yeah, 5.8 is, we are firmly in sporty territory here. The lugs are, there's kind of a little sight line in the middle of it. We have a singular lug. It's just one size of lug. And we do, unlike many others, that lug actually strays over the shoulder. I don't know if I would go, I can almost see a reflection in the side of these. I don't know if I would go so far as to call that a side lug, but I think we're definitely going to get a little bit of bite out of that corner. Those lugs feel grabby, really grabby. We are still, today, fairly early in the AM hours, so dawn wall, there's a category. There's a category of compound. Inside that category are Proline Predator, Injora S5, and Extreme Route Gold / Dawn Wall, where when it starts to get hot, every tire falls off when it starts to get hot. These three, the three compounds I just mentioned, they fall off much faster. Some compounds are absolutely fine from 30 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. They don't treat them at all differently. Like, they don't stiffen up when it gets cold. They don't start to act overly greasy when it gets hot. This is not one of those. Extreme Route Gold is very much like Predator and S5, where the higher the temperature, they just immediately fall off. It is like someone took a garden sprayer, filled it with cooking oil, and went around and just sprayed all the rocks down with cooking oil. Like, they will just sit in place and spin because their compound keeps softening up. We may be in the butter zone right now. These feel, I mean, it's not even a tire lug noise. It sounds like we're pulling Velcro apart. I try not to get my hopes up, but good grief and good gravy. I have this sneaking suspicion that these are really going to grab. Medium's rear, soft's front. In terms of a single stage, we're kind of optimized for what we got going. Let's go out there. Let's do the thing. Oh my goodness. It's going to be so grippy. Come to me, to the kingdom of grip. Do we have somebody that's going to be up near the top of the leaderboard? I don't see how it can't be. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it before, but when I get to tires like this, I can't even do the drive back. I carry it out here because look at them. They are as inky black as a starless night, and I didn't want to dirty them up. I didn't want to dirty them up before we hit rock for the first time. It's so tall. Like, we're portaled. These are offset Capra axles. So we've already got ground clearance straight over. Hold on. We have some aspects. Already, okay, surprises already. Lug noise. Absolutely no hesitation. None. Just we're fighting the weight distribution here. Around the outside wide. When I hear, okay, look, I can think of maybe one or two other instances where we had lug noise of this degree of prominence that didn't translate as loss of forward drive. These foams came out of the plastic bags moments ago. These tires came out of the plastic bags moments ago. These tires and inserts have not yet begun to get to know each other yet. So we're not even into the zone of like overwhelming forward drive. Is that? Oh, please, camera 2 have caught that. This is Velcro. These are Velcro. It's not grip, it's stick. My goodness. All right, look and listen. We don't do hundreds here. We don't. One singular tire has done that well at Slick Rock. On the complex. Wait, no, okay. It's so hard for me to do this. Let's see if this is about right. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. This is cruise control. And see, we're just... Good God! Yep. Joining the elite, only one other tire at Slick Rock. 9.9. That is as much traction as you can make. Literally. But that is an amount of forward drive that we have seen only once before. Now, will it be able to translate that? The tire that we're comparing it to mentally now is the Panther Cougar, which has the Japanese milk bread foams, is monstrously wide, incredibly grippy. This is proper exotic stuff now. Came out of the shade and almost forgot me at. Definitely a tire insert combo that just annihilates the bench feel test. The rears feel significantly too firm. I gotta figure out what the entry line is. Is it further this way? Yeah. It's way farther than anyone else can go to the left. Will that drop? No. Oh. This tire is better than I am as a driver. I can't operate to the level of this tire. And just think, this isn't even a Sportsman. This is cobbled together. I almost caught that. There's that lug noise. Little slip. Oh. That's crazy. You got to find stuff more vertical for this, really. I mean, I'm not an expert by any means. I'm gathering experience. I'm building up my database of empirically gathered data, but I don't understand how a stiffer insert in the rear makes it descend better. You'd think it would make it worse. It would pop the rear end more. It does not. Okay, let's go backside. There's a little spot right there that didn't exist, that you would ordinarily see some fallback. Oh, that's my shock. Now, we're going to get to the really interesting part where now we're going to get out into the dirt. We're going to find out what happens after these have got some dirt on them. They're throwing dirt and sand everywhere. Yoy. Nah. That's way too far to the right.
swing it back down. We're gonna, okay, a little bit of throttle got us down easily. I mean, wow. Like this is a wow tire. That little bit of huff. Sounds like most of that huff's coming from the rear. This should prove no problem whatsoever. This is another, you could cruise control this line. There was not a millisecond of hesitation up that. Show me the center cut again. I want to get this one. That is truly something. Absolutely zero drop off in traction after getting into the dirt. I can see it grinding the dust off of itself. Oh, that was right there. Gotta get, there is a window. There's a slot up there that is basically the width of the vehicle that I have to get into. How's that medium gonna do? Well, it's gonna let us catch. And it's absurd. You can get as dumb as you want, and these will just keep holding on. It seems silly for me to point it out, but I'm going to point it out anyway, that the foam and the spring, in terms of the suspension, are every bit as important as one another. The foam here is doing so much work that the rig is now acting oversprung. I had that wheel stuffed into the fence. That amount of drive right there. 3-wheel motion. Touch the fence and bounce. Right there. Get off of me. Don't distract me. Stay off my feet, ants. Yeah, how does a stiffer rear insert make for better descending? That oversprung condition that we're experiencing, it's not allowing the weight to move as fluidly as it should, because the inserts are doing too much of the work. We're not splitting that load between insert and spring. Damping, still good. I just like watching the puffs of dust come off of it. That is a sticky tire. We're gonna lose it? Yeah, right there. It's still impossible to catch. Not self-rightable. There's a disturbance in the ionosphere, I guess. I don't know. I keep having to change batteries on everything. Both cameras, my field view, the rig. Nothing has made it through a single session without a battery change. We're getting just the right amount of slide out of the rear end. Look at that. That positionability, that rear following the front, and then no lift. Absolutely zero lift. The catchability. You can feel when an end is going to lift on you and catch it genuinely easily. you've got to get it so far out of shape. I mean, not recommended, right? But it'll do it. I gotta take another pass. I gotta get one more pass through. That amount of scrabbly lug noise and this amount of side hill, coupled with the sheer amount of forward drive, is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I had this sneaking suspicion that they were going to be good, but come on. This is just unchecked aggression. What are we doing? The level of plantedness, like, there's a stability that shouldn't ought to be. Typically we run a 5.25 on here, and we're on a 5.8. CG is up. We typically run either a dual stage or a 3D printed. This is a single stage. It's better at everything. We also run brass rings in our canyon trails, so a lot more front weight. Mounting these tires on this setup, probably pulled 400 grams off this rig. And it feels more planted than it has on any combo that's ever been on it. That's not gonna come in tight enough. That's wide boy stuff. It is stability perfected. It is exactly the amount that I would want. It is so predictable in what the next move is going to be. And I've sampled a couple different tires on here. These are truly on the next level, above anything that has been tested on here previously. Legitimately. That's so much further left than anyone else does that. So then when we come back for the soft side, no, that's not possible. No one does that. How about we go outside the soft side? No, you can't do that. You need to be stopped. What? I don't know what these are. They look like tires. Oh, listen to that. The sound of the waterfall. Any amount of side angle. Okay, is there something unique about Wolverine that he just won't? These are full blasts. Pinning it. Look how far we get up the face. He's never gonna, like, they won't unload. They just grip. It doesn't slip a lug's width backwards. We'll do the mid. We'll get up right about and then bump. It's like he ate a rocket. I don't even know what these are. Because I'll show you right here. This is not a grip problem. I think this might be a CG problem. We can do this line on 5.25s. On this exact rig on 5.25s. It'll do this on canyon trails. But I think what's happening is, see that rear end is lifting, 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 lifting? Right there. Now, that's tire doing the thing, because we can hold that. We're already to a point where any amount of forward throttle is just gonna pop that front even higher. I'm just brushing the high marker there. There's a spot. There's definitely a line in here. And I think we're gonna ignore that. Ignore that. There it is. There it is. You know why we're ignoring it? I was one-handing it. I don't know why. Just the spirit overtook me. That stability. The tire drives through. Here's what I mean by driving through. It drives to the point where you go, okay, I can tell what part of the suspension and geo is wrong. I can tell where my link positions aren't right, or I'm oversprung or undersprung or overdamped or underdamped, because the tire is like, I'm gonna do all of it. I'm gonna go as far as your setup will let me go. And that leaves us with nothing to find out but wet. It's just, it's so much grip. It's so much forward drive. Do the shuttle this way, cut back this way. I mean, I'm deliberately trying to wedge it into spots where it's gonna have a much tougher time than any other tire. Doesn't care. It don't care, I don't care. Wolverine don't care. Let's get it wet. Let's get it wet. It's single stage foams. We'll let that water run down a little. We'll let it pool so that we're not and then I'll just drive around that pool. Got to get a couple passes to know all the lugs are wetted up. There's no difference. None. Absolutely none. Not surprising in something this exotic. Just so maneuverable. Yeah, I mean, what is there to say, really? Final number, I guess. If we're gonna say something, final number should be it. And that is this. After the conclusion of today's testing of the Extreme Route huge pin in gold Don Wall with Dirty Richard soft fronts, medium rears, 98.6. 98.6. It's just a combination of 9.9s and 9.8s, and we only give out 9.9s. It basically, if a tire is above a 98, it is absolutely doing all the things to the best of our expectations. 98.6 is 0.4 of a point away from the venerable Panther Cougar, the best we've ever seen. And this is, on some level to me, as impressive as the Cougar, because the Cougar comes from a time gone by, from a bygone era when they made things better. Old G8 is better than new G8 in terms of compound. A lot of tires from way back in times gone by are better than the brand new stuff they're pushing out now. These are newer, and they are impossibly good. Hey, Extreme Route, make us a class 2. Make us like the size of the Power Hobby Grabber. Make us a 475 of this. Oh my God. There will be a reason that most competitions won't let you run them, because they would just annihilate every other tire. Like, bordering on too much grip. So much grip that the setup and suspension of that vehicle can't even handle all of it. Could it have gotten a 99? I don't know, maybe. Could it get more better?
on some sort of really fancy insert, I honestly don't know. I think things like passing gate 5 might be easier, but I think that the vehicle needs tended to more than the inserts would need be. I feel like we're now oversprung. They're just, I don't know. I've run out of things to say about the Exterminator Huge Pin. I had elevated hopes because the Lamprey was very good. These are even better than that. And if memory serves, they're like a 1/10 of a point. I think the Lampreys are 98.5, or are they 98 even? Anyway, however much these are better than the Lamprey, I kind of feel like they're even better than that. Yes, the Lamprey will fit on a lot more vehicles than these will. These are a very, like, you're buying these if you're building a Sportsman. And my recommendation would be, if you're building a Sportsman and you just want to go all in, let's do this, you're looking at the tire right there. The most grip I have located in a tire that you can buy today. The Cougar, by nature of being nearly double the width of these and having foams made by wizards or magicians, is just so much drive that you can put them on a vehicle that is inferior in every way and it just slap people around with it. It's too good. It also falls into that kind of limited fitment. They're about like a 5.3 inch, 5.4 inch, something like that, and very wide. That's the thing. I guess what we're all searching for is a tire that has the grip and the profile, the grip profile of these, but isn't 147 millimeters tall. But until then, get yourself one of these cages, build yourself a Sporty, put these on there, and then be like, oh no, this is power creep. This is power creep in the hobby. You've raised the bar so high, you have to find a new bar. What is there to say? 98.6. Am I remembering correctly? Human body temperature was erroneously reported to be 98.6. So now we've just equated 98.6 with being the human body temperature when it is indeed the average human body temperature, 98.6. I run a current body temperature, here's some useless information to cap this off, of around a 96.8. That's what I run on any given day, which is very low, like almost 2 degrees lower than normal, but that is still within the norm. So basically, as a youth, I never got to stay home from school because I didn't get a fever. So when I've got a fever of 100, baby, I'm dying. Also, temperature doesn't affect me as much as other people. Like, I don't get cold as fast and hot as fast as other people. So I think low body temperature kind of helps sometimes. Also, if you were, and please don't, I'm feeling pretty good today. If you were to murder me, they'd be way off on the time that you killed me because I'd already cooled down 2 degrees. Please don't kill me. That's my only ask. That's not true. I have 2 asks. First, please don't kill me. The other is, in between now and when we meet again, please, one and all, do your very best to have a good one, everybody. We will see you again here from the canyon by when we're going to do, whenever we do our next tire test. It's going to make me sad on some level because no matter how good that tire is, it ain't going to be these. That I can say that with confidence.